Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Getting Dirty Off-Road channel. We're going to get back to this black Ford project. You know, it's only been a year. They all run together. But anyways, been talking with my niece a little bit, who's, she's hanging around here. And, well, she thinks I should put the engine back in the truck. She's right. We do need to do that. Probably not going to get all the way to that in this video, but absolutely for sure this video we're going to put the pistons back in it. Now, I think what I might do is step you through one of them, the boring do this, do that, make sure, and yada yada. Then we're probably gonna fast forward and crank that music up, and we're just gonna get it done. We're gonna put all those pistons back in this thing, headed towards getting it back into the truck. So let's go. Alrighty, so the very first thing we're gonna do is take the raincoat off and see if we got any rusties in our holes here. Still pretty shiny. I'll be happy with that. Alrighty, for my next trick, I'm gonna spin this thing around so that I can visualize it with the truck. It's a Ford, and well, the way they do numbers is backwards and in a row. So I need to get it where I can actually remember how it should be. And besides that, I need it out here where I got a little bit of room too. Okay, now I can see it. Passenger side is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Driver side is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alrighty, I need to do some more cleanup stuff while the holes are empty, and that way I can make sure nothing gets trapped in the bad place. So we can get it all cleaned and then we'll slide them together. But to do that, right now I need to get these dowels out. Dowel pins, I suppose. They hold the head in place. So got that one out of there. And we'll get this other one out of there. They're not too difficult to do as long as they haven't been damaged, so that's on out of there now. Alrighty, you know this song and dance. Scrapey, scrapey. Well, I had to do an old battery change, but you guys don't care about scraping gasket stuff off. But I used the heavy one. Now I'm gonna razor blade it. See if we can shave the last of this material off from there, which is all falling right in the cylinder, and it don't really matter which way you have the engine block twisted, you're gonna get it everywhere. So might as well do it before we put the new parts in. Oh no, I broke it. Oh no. Good thing I have some more. Well, got a new razor blade. Ooh, now that's a close shave. Gotta be careful on these edges though, it'll break these razor blades pretty quick. Okay, for this next part, if you're somebody who's really concerned about machine surfaces and tolerances and, things that are important, you might want to step away for a minute or possibly even go watch one of my other videos, because this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, now that I have finished ruining it, I'm going to throw a little air in there and blow all the chunks out. So right now at the moment, for whatever reason, I've chosen number 3 piston to start with. Passenger side, 1, 2, 3. It's just the first one I grabbed. But let's get a little hand wash in there. What's this little hole right there? Nothing? That ought to do. Okay, so now I'm going to take my rag I taped onto the journal and take that off and get this journal cleaned up. Alrighty, so like I said, we'll start with number 3 for whatever reason, primarily just because that was the first one I grabbed, I guess. I don't know. But some of them have a little notch in them. That notch needs to go towards the front of the engine, which then puts your stamp numbers up. So as we slide down into the bore, we will see these numbers on the top side of the crankshaft when we clamp her down. So I got this old crusty vise. That was a great grandpa's operation. It was bad when I got it. But, you know, it's good for holding things just to set them on, so we'll use it. Alrighty, so this is sealed power. The rings I got with my re-ring kit. So, all of them are packaged together. So that's the second groove set. This one is the top groove set. This one is the third groove. And so is this one. So I can tell by feeling, these are the steel rings that go around the oil rings. So we're going to start at the bottom and come up. There's also a paper in here, you know, I'm pretty sure it's important. Oh yeah, piston ring installation instructions. So, this right here will basically show you what I'm about to show you as well. Okay. I actually did read on it just briefly. So, let's count them first. 7. 8. It was 8. Okay, so what we're gonna do is first and foremost, be gentle. Now some of these may come around and actually lock together. It appears that these ones do not. They just butt right up against each other. So, what we want to do, stick it, just gently spread it open, bring it down. Doesn't matter which way you asked. On these ones, no. These ones are the same no matter which way they go. So gently spread it, bring it down, let it fall into place. According to this, we need to place it in the groove with the gap above the piston boss area. What's the boss area? I'm gonna say it's that area right there. Am I wrong? Please let me know. So, end of the spacer must butt or lock. And that's all there is to it. So we confirmed it will not lock together, so as long as it's butted together, we're good to go. Alrighty, I stand to be corrected. Piston boss is right here. So where your wrist pin comes through the piston itself, that's the boss. It was driving me crazy, so I went ahead and looked it up. So we want the end of this stainless ring, apparently, right over the piston boss or the wrist pin. Okay? Now, I guess maybe we learned something. It's not very likely to happen very often, but there it is. Now we've got our swiper rings, which go around this stainless ring here. One on the top of it, one on the bottom of it. Together, the three of them create your oil ring. All right? So, there's holes in the piston along the skirt sides where your oil can flow back down the inside of the piston and do its thing. But anyways, should have 16 of these. From what I can tell, that's true. Let's go ahead and fold some of this dirt over there out of the way. Maybe I should get a clean cloth. Where's that at? Here's something. Okay, yeah, we'll just cover that up, you know. When you're doing these engine builds, you want to keep your workspace super clean and tidy. You do. I might not, but you do. Okay, so now we need to come on, and these will actually they have a space where they'll sit right against these funny little U-dupers. So, I think I've said it before, but while your piston's stroking in the bore, all of your rings should turn a little bit. So, it doesn't really matter where you put the open ends, as long as you don't line them up together. So, as long as each one is in a different place to begin with, when you stick her back in the engine, you'll be fine. Now, I don't have any of the ring pliers, dang it. So I'm just gonna have to be gentle and bring her right on down. Nice and easy. Come on now. You have to watch the ends where they come together so that you don't catch one outside of the other and whatnots. And well, there it is. So we went with the top one first, and that's mostly just so that when we bring the next one on, we can slip over that without catching that groove. All right, and like I said, we'll move our end gap to a different location. We'll bring this one on down for the bottom side of that little oil swiper return system. You guys know. No, you don't? Down here for the oil ring components. That's what I'm getting at. Same thing here. We want to go gently, but make sure that it gets in the groove underneath of the stainless wiggly ring. So you have one on top, one on bottom. Check the ends, see that they're butted up together. And then in the groove with it. So now we've got our ends of the wiggly one. Does it have an actual name? Just a stainless steel expander spacer, okay? We got those ends over there. Our top ring in the top groove, the ends are here, right there. And the bottom ring in the ends, all in the groove, right there. Like I say, it doesn't really matter where you put them. They're going to turn in the bore while it runs. You just don't want them in a line when you first put them in there, because then you won't build any compression and everything will be kind of awry. So that's it. That's all. Oil rings all put together now. Okay, so now We're going to go with the second groove. Got 8 of those. Okay, so now we're looking, you know, and this is just an economy set of rings, just a standard stock size replacement. So they may not say or specify on here on the ring itself, but according to the papers, our second ring, which has an inside bevel, tapered face, second groove only, and this for regular iron. So on this one, looking at the little picture they give you as well, they show your taper, which you can see just a taper there, in this second groove, which is the rings we have according to the package label. The taper side should be downward, and if you look close or even feel with your finger there, maybe you can see a little dimple. Now, I don't know if you guys would see it on the camera, so I'm not even gonna get up. Oh wait, you know what? Let's get up. Okay, fine. Get up. Stop being lazy. Well, the camera froze up, so. All right, so I don't know how much of that before the camera got cold and stopped. Anyways, the second groove, the bevel goes downward. There is a little dimple in the top side of this. Just be easy getting her over your piston, and then once you get in the groove, you can line it up where you want it. So now we'll pull out the old top groove. Alrighty, so here's the top groove. Top groove, according to this, beveled tapered face should be upward. Oh, but these ones are not beveled. So, ho ho ho. Okay, so for over to this other one, regular iron radius face. Well, from what I'm understanding, it don't matter which way this one goes on. And again, that's just because this is a standard economy regular OEM replacement system here, so they don't really care. Unidentified rings may be installed with either side up, and looking at this, it's the same all the way around, so it's unidentified. There are no marks on it, so it does not matter which way we're going to go here. Again, I just kind of get on the piston. I use my little clampers to gently spread it out just like the pliers would, and then just ease it down carefully. Alright, now that I'm down there, I'm going to go opposite side of the second groove. Then when I clamp her down, it's all in different spots. Alright, now this camera is angry, and I don't really blame it because it is cold. But anyways, second groove ring has a tapered beveled edge to it that points downward. There is a little spot, little dimple on the top side. That's the second ring. Top ring is just a standard iron ring. It's unidentified completely. It matches all the way around it, so it doesn't matter which way it goes on there. Now that we're on there, I'm gonna set my gaps. Top one over the skirt on this side, middle one over the skirt on this side, Doesn't really matter as long as they're not lined up. So right now we're gonna flip her over. And my vise is so good, all I gotta do is grab on it, open her up. I guess I'll go ahead and try to keep it clean here. But anyways, I just did that because I just need to set it down somewhere that I can hold it in place. Okay? So we've got all the rings on there now. It's time to work on this end of it. So now that we've got her upside down, we need to take this cap off so we can get those bearings taken care of. I'm just gonna set the stuff right here alongside of it. There's kind of a flat spot on the back over here. We'll set them on. And there's the second one. They don't really matter which way they go. Just make sure that they go back. Okay. Then we just pull this cap off. Now, keep in order which way your numbers should match on the sides. Also, the tabs for the bearings should be on the same side as well. So when you put it back on, just make sure that that's how it is. Alrighty, we might as well pop a bearing in there. Again, just standard size replacements. The ones that came out of it actually weren't too awfully bad. They were worn down, so go ahead and slap a new set in there, but it wasn't super necessary. So we just make sure that the tab lines up with the spot for the tab. That's it. Alrighty, now that we've got that into place, just gonna put a little bit of grease on there. I'm just using that Lubriplate number 105 motor assembly grease. You all know. Anyways, I'm just about ready to slide it back in the hole, so might as well just grease up this bearing and be ready to go. Oh yeah, just a nice, not thick, but nice layer of grease. And she's ready to go. Alrighty, so now that we've got a little bit of lube on that bearing, I'm gonna flip it back over. And just for me, my ease of doing things and references, I'm gonna put my notch that indicates the front of the engine towards me. Oh, gotta close my vice jaw. Yep, there we go. Anyways, back towards me in preparation for putting a ring compressor on this guy. Then I can visualize everything I want to visualize. Alrighty, so now that I've got it, we're getting staged, we're ready to clampolate, ring compress. I'm gonna go ahead and squirt a little bit of oil in some random places. And that way when we compress, we get a little bit inside of it and it slips out of there and shoots in the hole a little bit easier. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Yeah, basically just making a mess here. I don't think it's really necessary. As long as you got a little slide 'em in your bore, probably okay. Just what I wanted to do, because I like to make a mess out of everything. So there's a little bit of lube there. Alrighty, just found this over there in the box. Now, I'm sure there's better options out there, maybe worser ones, I don't know. This is what I have at the moment. So that's how she's gonna be over here. Just go over, we've already checked our ring gaps where we want them, far as I'm concerned. Just crank this guy down. Just hoping for the best. Watching as close as we can. Really about all you can see is this top ring, but we need to get this clamped down. And it sucks because it's not a steady force everywhere you really need it, so it's not real friendly, but you can get where you want to go as long as you're patient. Generally, I just kind of squeeze where the rings are on the outside while I wrench it down. And then honestly, I just hope for the best. And it looks like it's okay. So this one's probably ready to go. I think we got enough oil on it all. Okay, now, before we drop it in the hole here, we need to lube it up. So we'll squirt a little oil on it. Just some regular old engine oil. And then we'll rub it around there a little bit. Just need something to help it slide. Alrighty, so we're gonna set this here. Pay attention to our directionality so that it's going towards the front like it should. And it is cold out here, so pinch my finger, but got it in there. So that's the start of it. Make sure that our ring compressor is flush against the block there so that we can knock it through. Okay, so now what we want to do is the old wood handle here, and we're just going to push her, and we're going to watch our crankshaft down here. Make sure that we don't hit. Something felt like it hit, probably a ring. And that happens sometimes with these cheesy compressors. Which also, by the way, cut my finger, so you got to be careful with them. There we go. Just be gentle. You don't want to go whacking on them. If something stops, stop. It's usually because these ring compressors pop up on you and allow the edge of the ring to catch the top of the block there. So you got to try to keep the compressor down tight against the block while you're trying to bump it in. Just nice and gentle like that, and you're back in higher. Everything is home and happy. Gonna leave it up away from the crankshaft there just for a minute. I think I might go ahead and shoot a little spot of oil on there. Alrighty, before I get crazy and push that piston down in there, I'm gonna use it for a shelf here. And maybe. Come out of there. Gee whiz. Anyways, we're going to put the bearing in this now. You usually don't want to get your fingers all over the face too awfully much. You know, you want to be careful, grab it by the edges and whatnots. There it is. We got the tab in the hole for the tab, and it's pushed in there all the way. It's ready. Alrighty, we'll get a little assembly lube on this side without getting the dirt off from our tube on it, that is. Wipe the dirt off my hand. Smear it in. You only want this stuff on the face. You don't want anything on the back side of it. We don't need to be turning the bearings within the caps and such. However, we do need to be turning on the crankshaft. So just wait till you get them put in your caps and your rods, and then grease them up. Oh yeah, that ought to do us. Alrighty, now I'm just gonna squirt a little bit of oil on the journal of the crankshaft there. Even though I got some assembly lube on the bearings, just put a little film of oil on there too. Alrighty, so we'll just take this rod cap here and set it to the side. Then we'll come on down here and watch our studs on the rod, the connecting rod. See that we don't hit the crank with them, and start bringing her down. Looks like our bearing has stayed in place as well. I like to do this with the crankshaft journal straight down as far straight through the cylinder as I can, then that way it's easy to line up. You just come right down to it. There you have it. Alrighty, now that we're all the way down against the crankshaft, we'll take our rod cap here. We'll look for our number, also for the tab, and we will line them up, number to number, tab to tab. And then just slip her on there like that. And then we'll just twist the nuts on there. They should go nice and smooth. Shouldn't have to fight these at all. If you are, something's wrong. Now, I need to go find that book. See what the Torquems is. Get this other nut on there. Still trying to find the Torx. I did find a book in the truck and it's in rough shape, but I think I can get some Torx out of it. Alright, I finally figured out what that book was trying to tell me. It says 40 to 45. You know, I guess anywhere in there in between. So I'm gonna step her up probably 3 different torques on the way to finalization. So I think I'll start at 20 pounds, why not? Okay, there's the first one at 20. Second one torqued at 20 pounds. Alrighty, my camera is angry. It's cold. I'm angry. It's cold. I don't know if some of this is getting captured. So, recap real quick. Torques 40 to 45. Step it up 3 times. I've already done 20 pounds. Now we're going for 35. I don't know why, it's just what I picked. Thought it made sense. I did finally find it in the piece of junk book that I have. But my pocket machine also told me the same thing. 40 to 45, and we're just stepping her up 3 runs. So there's the first one at 35. And now we'll get this other one. Thanks for all the help. You guys are doing a great job. There's the second one to 35 pounds. All right, for my final torques, and as I go, I will recheck them all, but we're gonna do 42 pounds. There's the first one, and there's the second one torqued. So, that is the first connecting rod piston assembly installed, torqued down. That one's ready to go. So, I think, rather than bore you all to death, we're gonna shoot her into fast forward, crank up that music. We're gonna at least get the pistons put back in. So, let's get her done. I know it's been a while now, but there's other junk, you know. Anywho, we've got these pistons put back in this engine here. This is for that black Ford that everybody forgot about. Got everything back in. I will do a final torque on all the rod caps just to make sure that they're all the same, that they're all good. The only trouble I really had was right back here. Second groove, number 8 piston, broke my new ring. Moment of silence. Anyhow, I still had all of them that I took off, and I know it was a middle ring, the second groove, because all of the top ones were broke, if we remember correctly. So, grabbed one out of there. It looked worn out. It's what I had. It's only one of them. I'm not going to buy a whole nother set. So, cleaned it up real good, stuck it in there, crammed it in the hole. So, everything's finished up with getting these pistons back in. The next video, we're basically going to put everything back on it up to the air filter housing so that we can get this guy going again. I've got less than a month to get it running. Yeah, in video watch time, it'll be after that. So, anyways, that's pretty much it for this guy. So, until we hit the next one, I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you jammed along with me this whole video, I definitely appreciate that. New guys, girls, whoever's coming on board, definitely appreciate that. And those of you that have subscribed and stuck around, that is pretty huge for me. So, totally appreciate it. There I go with totally again. But anyways, you guys want to hang out and see what comes up next, you know what to do. It's down below. There's things in those descriptions. If you saw something that I might need some advice with, don't hesitate to leave those comments. And I'll catch you next time.